Now 6 o'clock PM, the chair will call this February 13th, 2024 regular call board meeting to order. Madam Clerk, has the public been notified?
Yes, sir.
And I do confirm a quorum. All the board members are here. Chair will ask for a motion to go into executive session for personnel and superintendent search.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I make a motion, we go in executive session for personnel matters and the superintendent search.
I say.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Mr. Davis. To go into executive session. So personnel matters and superintendent search. All in favor, show by raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. We're going into a short executive session. We'll be out very soon. Everybody ready? Everybody ready?
You're wrong.
I got transist.
Yeah.
Time, Chair, we ask for a motion to exit, executive session, no action taken.
Chair,
Yes,
I
ma'am.
make a motion, we exit executive session, no action taken.
I second.
Motion made by Mrs. Harrison to exit and second by Mr. Davis to exit exec session. No action taken. All in favor show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. Just wanted to start off by welcoming everyone to our February the 13th, 2024 school board meeting. Thank y'all for all y'all support. Support our children. Got so many things, good things going on in this district, and the ones that's here, thank y'all, and the ones that out there in streaming live, thank you, and continue to support our school district. At this time, we'll have our pledge of allegiance and the flag and a moment of silence by our board secretary.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Thank you. Can we get a motion to approve the agenda?
Mr. Chair, I make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Yeah, I second.
Motion made by Ms. Harris to approve the agenda as presented, second by Pastor Jackson. All in favor, show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. Public comment, Mr. Siebel.
We don't have any.
All right. Thank you. Board minutes from January 16th, board minutes from January 22nd.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion, we accept the minutes from the regular call board meeting, January the 16th, 2024, and the special call board meeting, January the 22nd.
A second.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison and second by Mr. Davis to accept the regular call board meeting on January 16th and the special call board meeting on January 22nd. All in favor show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. At this time, we'll have our superintendent report, Dr. Green.
Mr. Chair, members of the board, several exciting announcements I'd like to share with you today. First of all, let's give the elite ladies a shout out. Give them a round of applause. All right, absolutely. The elite ladies of Fairfield County School District Dance Auxiliary and Fairfield County Diamond Elites dance team competed in the Divas of Perfection HBCU dance competition on Saturday, February 3rd in Lancaster, South Carolina. The team consisting of 2nd through 11th graders competed against two other teams in the following categories with the following placement. Placed first in HBCU parade, placed first in HBCU field show, placed first in HBCU stand in stands. I don't know, the dance in stand or stand in stand. Well, either way. An overall grand champion. So congratulations to the elite ladies. Absolutely. Okay. Stand in stands. I'm gonna have to talk to Ms. Brown about that. I don't quite follow that. February 5th through the 9th, 2024 was National School Counseling Week. Appreciate our school counselors and their dedication to our scholars. The month of February is Career and Technology Education Month. We celebrate the value and achievements of our CTE programs in Fairfield County, and we have a wealth of career and technology education programs. I'll tell you much more than most. And so our young people and our community have a lot to be proud of. This week marks the 5th anniversary of the first issue of the Fairfield Post. It brings students and staff great joy to fulfill our mission to be an uplifting, educational, and diverse publication in Fairfield County. Wow, how time flies. 5th anniversary of the Fairfield Post. And those young people do an absolutely amazing job. 5 years. Congratulations.
For that.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
That's awesome right there.
That is awesome. Yeah. Congratulations to Candace Coleman, who plays the violin, and Samaria Seabrooks, who also plays the violin, on their performances with the South Carolina Youth Philharmonic Orchestra Concert Orchestra. Ms. Wise and her students continue to do an absolute remarkable job. I think that they are going to perform down at the SCAOP conference next week, and next Saturday. And so this coming Saturday. So Ms. Brown has secured them to come on down to Greenville, go up to Greenville to represent the mighty Griffins. And so I know they are going to be impressive. This past weekend, the Fairfield Central High School Betas traveled to Myrtle Beach for the State Beta Club Convention. They placed in 21 categories. Show choir had another first place finish. Give them a round of applause. Yeah. In addition to 5 other first place finishes, 9 second place finishes, 6 third place finishes, and now they'll be traveling to Savannah, Georgia, I think it is, for the State Beta Club Convention. You know, I was talking to Dr. Swilley earlier today, and I think our young people are probably going to every national, and I say state, but national Beta Club Convention. I think our young people have gone to every national Beta Club Convention over the past several years. Whether it was in Oklahoma or Tennessee or Kentucky, wherever it has been, we have provided an opportunity for our young people to travel there. And you know, and what really brought it to the forefront of my thoughts were I was working on, I'm getting back on finishing my book, and part of what I was covering in this section of my book was the value of exposure, Ms. Green, that we often talk about, and then I just wanted to reflect on all the exposure that we have provided our young people over the years. And sometimes it's more than you even recognize until you start to reflect and really think back on it. But I'd like to commend this board who have been steadfastly committed to providing our young people with opportunity, even in the face of some people who don't see it as valuable. Okay, and we acknowledge that everyone didn't necessarily see the value of exposure, but we see the value of exposure. Okay, and therefore I appreciate the board for continuing to be committed to that. Kinsley Green was elected state vice president of Beta. Kinsley is a junior at Fairfield Central High School, while outgoing state president Alvin Wilson presided over the entire convention. And so we've had over the last 5 or 6 years, 3 or 4 state Beta Club presidents. Right. We've had several state, as we have this year, state Beta vice presidents. So Fairfield County Schools is well represented at the Betas. And so I know Kinsley, who is a very sharp young lady, will do a tremendous job representing the Griffins at the state level. Congratulations to Fairfield Central High School and Fairfield Middle School Academic Challenge team on their victorious seasons. I don't know where the middle school currently ranks. I know the high school is ranked #1 in their division. I had an opportunity to go to a match with Great Falls one day last week. I can't remember what day it was. And what I'm often reminded of whenever I go to these academic matches is how dumb I am. All right. And I, you know, I thought I was a pretty sharp guy. You know what I mean? I did pretty good in school, I guess, and earned a PhD. But I'm telling you, I mean, these kids are so much smarter than I am. I'm sitting there, and every now and then, Mr. Miller, I know an answer. I'm telling you, every now and then I know an answer. But if I was sitting up there, I wouldn't be a whole lot of help to the team. So congratulations to them. They'll host the region competitions, I think in April. Ms. Alcorn, who is an excellent advisor, she has already told me about it. She put it on my calendar, and she told me that the kids said that I need to be there because I'm their good luck charm. I said, I don't know about that. I mean, but so I mean, last time I went, y'all didn't win it all. I mean, you went to the championship and lost, so maybe I shouldn't come. But I absolutely plan to be there. We had an opportunity to celebrate several of our student athletes last week during National Signing Day. congratulations to Sharmell Holmes, who will be attending the University of Kentucky. Blake Gambrell, who will be attending the Columbia International University. KJ Golden, who will be attending Fayetteville State University. And Jalen Swilly, who will be attending Anderson University. And for those who may not know, let me just tell you what they'll be playing. Jalen plays football. KJ will be playing football. Blake will be playing basketball. And Sharmell will be running track. So get what I said. Baseball. Yeah. I said the wrong thing. Yeah, Blake will be playing baseball. And so let's give those student athletes a round of applause. Yeah. And last two, congratulations to the Mighty Griffin ROTC Battalion on receiving a Gold Star Honor Unit with distinction designation on their inspection. And so those are some of the highest honors that you can get. And I told Dr. Swilly when she and I were talking today, what is painfully obvious, and I'm not complaining about it, but I'm just making an observation, is all the leadership on ROTC are young ladies. I mean, young ladies are taking over leadership, Pastor Jackson. And I don't know what to make of that. All right. And so we are very proud of that, but I got to get my fellows, we got to represent a little bit more. Okay. I mean, because the leadership, I'm telling you, there's some sharp young ladies in OTC, and the fellows got to really step their game up if they're going to be leading in that unit. All right. And so, but nobody get mad at me, but I just had to make that observation right there. And last, let me give a shout out to the Fairfield Central High School wrestling team who has won another region championship. You know, I always tell people I never had opportunity to wrestle because we didn't have wrestling when I was in high school. But wrestling is the toughest sport in high school. I'm telling you, it's the toughest sport in high school. People think football is tough. No, nothing compares to wrestling because it's just you against someone else. You can't call timeout, Brother Davis. You can't call for a sub. It's just you on that mat with somebody. All right. I don't care how tired you get. It's just you. All right. And it is a tough sport. And we just started wrestling back. I'm not sure. I don't know if wrestling existed when you were here, Mr. Davis, or years ago, but we started it during my tenure here. And why I'm so excited about wrestling is that any kid can be a state champion wrestler, which is different than football or basketball. I mean, you can be 101 pounds and be a state champion because you're going to wrestle someone else 101 pounds. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. So, you know, very often in other sports, you got to be a certain height, you got to be a certain speed, you got to be a certain strength. But wrestling, you can develop your technique. Doesn't necessarily matter how big you are. You can be a state championship wrestler. So that's a niche sport that every kid can thrive in, which is why I have always been so excited about the sport. Okay, because you'll find kids that wrestle who do great that might not necessarily do great in other sports. All right, but they can be great wrestlers. And so I think the rest of the season is coming to an end. They're starting to do kind of state individuals meets. But next year, go to a wrestling meet. You'll see what I'm talking about when I say it's the toughest sport in high school. Phenomenal athletes. And that's all I have, Ms. Miller, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Green. Right. Curriculum and instructions, Dr. Avery.
Good evening.
Good evening.
For your approval are two overnight field trip requests. One is for the baseball team. They will be traveling to Florence, South Carolina for a baseball tournament. And the Fairfield Middle School students will be competing in the Amazing Shake competition to be held in Atlanta, Georgia.
Need to get a motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion, we accept the superintendent recommendation to approve the overnight field trip request for Fairfield Central and Fairfield Middle School.
A second.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Mr. Davis to accept superintendent recommendation for overnight field trip for Fairfield Central and Fairfield Middle School. All in favor, show by the raising of the right hand. It's 7-0.
The second item for your approval is the final reading of the 2024-2025 proposed academic calendar for your approval. There was one noted change on the calendar from the previous first reading, and we notated it on July 26th as District PD. So this calendar is before you for your approval, the 24-25 proposed academic calendar as submitted.
We get a motion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion, we accept the superintendent recommendation to approve the 2024-25 academic calendar as submitted.
I second.
Motion made by Ms. Harrison, second by Mr. Davis. Before we vote, got questions?
Dr. Avery, I might be overlooking it, but I didn't see the graduation date on it.
One of the reasons in the attached document, I have included the FAQ document, and the graduation was removed because it is, of course, a school program. And technically, it is not required for it to be a part of the calendar. And in the event that changes were made based upon the needs of the school, that in turn there wouldn't be a need for the calendar to come back to you all for an additional approval. Dr. Swilly, do you happen to know? For next year? It will likely be
Okay.
May 31st, 2025.
May 31st at
2025, 8:30.
8:30. Do we got some
I-
clarity on that?
I feel quite confident that once that date is confirmed, which I feel confident it is,
Yes, ma'am.
that Dr. Swilly, along with our PR department, will make sure that date is communicated to everyone.
All right. This is just, to reiterate that, we accept the superintendent recommendation. Board approved the 24-25 proposal academic calendar as submitted. All in favor show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. Mo?
Next and final item is just a quick update on our upcoming Cognia accreditation engagement review. And our evaluators have requested an interview with the board chair. And Mr. Miller notified me on yesterday that Mr. Siebels either was voluntold or he volunteered to serve as another representative to meet with our evaluators. Our evaluators will meet with us as a collective team, along with the superintendent, our students, our teachers, and our leaders. And of course, they have requested to meet with 2 members from the board. So of course, that will be Mr. Miller and Mr. Siebels. I will share with you that we went through a very comprehensive self-assessment. You all have the abbreviated version, which is our executive summary, which gave some of the highlights, some of the areas of concerns, and some areas of excellence that we are most proud of. One of the goals of this process is to ensure that we are on a constant or consistent journey toward continuous improvement. So there is no expectation for us to be perfect. However, it is our expectation that we do receive our accreditation from Cognia for systems accreditation. But the team, of course, our visit will be held here. We will assemble here in the board auditorium on March the 20th, and our evaluators will interview us via Zoom. But that concludes my report.
Thank you, Dr. Avery. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Finance and operation. Good evening.
The only item on the finance and operations this evening is the finance report for the month of January. And even though all of the tax revenues has come in, because of the date of this meeting, the county haven't had time to finalize all of the revenue numbers for taxes for January. So those figures are not included in this report, but we will have that updated in the month of March. But otherwise, everything looks normal. We're still on par, on plan. So available for review. Any questions or concerns?
Anybody got any questions? Thank you, sir. Right. And at this time, we have our board chair report. I just like to first thing I would like to recognize, Dr. Green will be recognized this weekend as Administrator of the Year for the SC Association of Educational Office Professionals on Saturday. So let's clap our hands for Dr. Green. We're in Greenville. And also, little young lady will be sworn in as president of this particular group's Mrs. Make me what? Miss Giovanna Brown.
All right, all right.
Have your hands, Miss Brown. Awesome. Yeah. And we had a lot of we just so much good things going on in Fairfield County. You know, outstanding staff. Just awesome. You know, just really awesome. Thing I want to get to. I just wanted to before we go into our motion, I wanted to just recommend, and not recommend, but just to talk about a little bit about the superintendent search. Okay, it's been a daunting task, y'all. This probably been the most been on the board for 17 years. This is probably the toughest thing we've had to do. All the candidates were so excellent. I'm talking about top tier. I'm talking about up here, top tier. And so sometimes you top tier, you I think you're the best. You know, that's how but somebody has to be chosen. And so with that, I'm going to bring our board secretary to make a motion this time.
Mr. Chair,
Yes,
I
sir.
move that the board authorize the chair to execute an employment contract with Dr. Tony Hemingway for a 3-year term beginning July 1, 2024, consistent with the terms reviewed with the board, and that Dr. Hemingway will be appointed superintendent-elect effective April 22nd, 2024.
Thank you. Can we get a second?
Second such motion.
Motion made by Mr. Siebel, second by Dr. Harris to accept Dr. Hemingway as our Fairfield County superintendent. And he will be sworn in as elect on April the 22nd. All in favor show by the raising of the right hand. That would be 7-0. Thank you. Dr. Hemingway is going to be our next superintendent. And y'all, let's open up our hearts. Let's open up our way to help this young man. He's going to need all of us, you know, our prayers. He's going to need us. And so I think he's an outstanding young man, and I think that he's going to do us do very good here. Okay, and I just like to say this right here. This quote right here is from myself. The Fairfield County Board is extremely excited to welcome Dr. Hemingway to the Fairfield family. He has a proven track record of successful schools and district level leadership. We look forward to Dr. Hemingway continue to building upon the outstanding work currently taking place in this district. And that's a statement from the board chair. Anybody else has a statement? Anything they want to say?
Yes, Sir Chair, I just would like to say that I trust that everybody supports him and gives him the opportunity to shine and not compare him to Dr. Green, because we all know there's not another Dr. Green. So it would be unfair to Dr. Hemingway to be compared to him, and just for us to all support and prop as much as possible. Thank you.
Anybody else? Can we get a motion to adjourn? That's it.
So Chair,
Huh?
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Yeah, second.
Someone made a motion?
Yes.
Ms. Green.
Motion made by Ms. Green to adjourn, second by who?
Pastor
Pastor Jackson. All in favor to adjourn until our next board meeting, show by the raising of the hand. Thank y'all and good night.
Yeah. Called you earlier, man.